On the morning of April 21st, 2016, a 911 call is made from 7801 Audubon Road in Chanhassen, Minnesota. Everyone in town knows the home well and its nickname, Paisley Park. Emergency services rush to the scene, arriving 5 minutes later. And upon entering the building, they find the owner and music icon, Prince, lying in an elevator. They attempt CPR, but by 10:07 a.m., they are unable to revive him. Prince is pronounced dead.
When they said that there was a death at Paisley Park, my phone started ringing from all over. People started calling me up. But when we got it was him, that was crazy, man. There was a ton of things that hit me all at once. The one is that I felt for him being by himself. You know, someone like him in a situation like that, that was hard to take.
News of Prince's death causes an outpouring of grief worldwide.
Prince was like everything to me growing up. He got me through my middle school, he got me through my high school, my ups and downs. He was a hell of a musician. He played 14 instruments. He wrote all of his own music. Gifted musician. He was a gifted person.
In public gatherings and online forums, people pay tribute to Prince.
Purple rain, purple rain.
He's dead, and it is a very sad day for me right now.
6 weeks after Prince's death, the Midwest Medical Examiner releases the results of his autopsy.
I'm going, well, what is it? Well, tell me what it is.
The official cause of Prince's death is an accidental overdose of the opioid fentanyl, a synthetic drug up to 50 times more powerful than heroin. His family and friends just can't believe it.
Man, let me tell you something, man. You know, the drug scene, he was totally against it. Cigarettes, anything. But when I heard that, immediately it hit me different. I was like, yo, Prince?
Just doesn't sound like him, doesn't make any sense. It was a surprise for pretty much everybody.
They were saying that he's an addict. I never saw any signs of any addiction. Like a lot of the stuff just doesn't add up.
And naturally, given the subject matter, within days of Prince's death, online theories start to form. From the possible to the outlandish, it seems that everyone in the world has a different opinion on how he really died.
You know, when you're doing like an investigation into somebody's death, you want to get like a timeline of like their last couple days, especially if there's like shenanigans going on.
As online detectives start to piece together the timeline, they find that 6 days before his death, Prince flies to Atlanta to play a sold-out show at the Fox Theater.
In an article in The Guardian, it's reported that Prince arrived an hour before he was supposed to be on stage, got up on stage, had a flawless performance, no after party, which was highly unusual, and left right away.
According to TMZ, some pretty alarming things happened on that flight home. The plane had to make an emergency landing in Moline, Illinois, because Prince became unresponsive. Prince was taken to a local hospital, but he didn't stay there long.
He was back on the flight a couple hours later, back home to Minneapolis. It was reported that he had the flu. That's what the press release said. And he had a party like the next day.
It seemed like overall Prince was doing pretty well. A couple days after that party, he went out to a local jazz club in Minneapolis.
People recall seeing Prince cycling around Paisley Park and outside of a pharmacy. The last images we have of Prince are at a local doctor's office.
I found a video on YouTube and it said Prince visits his doctor's office the day before his death. All right, so I'm like, yeah, I'm watching that. So in the video, you see Kirk Johnson, which was like Prince's like best friend and bodyguard. You see the doctor open the door, let them into the hallway, and all three of them disappear out of frame. An hour later, all three of them come back into frame. They're leaving, and the doctor's like walking them out. They leave, Prince waves goodbye, and they get in the car and drive away. And that was the day before Prince died.
According to police interviews, Prince's bodyguard, Kirk, and his personal assistant, Marin, were the last to see him alive that night. Prince was alone in Paisley Park overnight, and his body wasn't discovered until morning.
Prince was wildly popular. Just to die alone in an elevator? I mean, that was strange to me.
More than a dozen police cars pulled into Paisley Park, some of them unmarked.
Over the next 2 years, the police do a full investigation of Prince's death.
The investigation into Prince's death is pretty intense. It involves various local, state, and federal investigators.
In April 2018, they released their findings.
There is no evidence to suggest any sinister motive, intent, or conspiracy to murder Prince.
When testing the pills, the police lab makes a stunning discovery. The fentanyl that killed Prince was disguised as a regular painkiller.
There is no evidence that the pill or pills that actually killed Prince were prescribed by a doctor. In all likelihood, Prince had no idea he was taking a counterfeit pill that could kill him.
Investigators were never able to determine the source of this fake Vicodin. A lot of folks conclude it must be something nefarious.